Hi again then guys, and welcome to another speed build on Forza Horizon 3, and this time we're covering another speed tune for a big heavy SUV, a luxury SUV. In fact, as far as luxury SUVs go, it's one of the go-to models when people are going to buy one, the Range Rover. This is not the SVR, of course, we will be covering that truck as well, or that SUV I should say. This one is the more conventional, more understated, more stately Range Rover. And it's by no means a slouch, that's for sure. Now for the engine swap, I would of course recommend that 1500 horsepower option. Then for the drivetrain, pretty obviously I'd recommend keeping all-wheel drive. For the aspiration, of course you want the twin turbo. All of this is pretty obvious stuff really. And then for the rest, you know the drill. Increase the power as much as you can, lower the weight as much as you realistically can, and basically fit everything with racing or race in the title. So the diff, the brakes, suspension, weight, gearbox, all of that. Now though, for the tuning side of things, this is where the car distinguishes itself from being just okay or being good. And as you can see, it's a good SUV. It could easily be much slower than it actually is, given that this car's rivals will be stuff like the Cadillac Escalade, but it's a lot faster than that car. In fact, the numbers on this vehicle are what I would have expected from the Cadillac Escalade. Over 260 miles per hour, 2.5 to 60, 4.4 technically, 4.35 let's say to 100. Pretty good on paper. So we'll see in a moment whether or not it can actually live up to that, but for now, for the gearbox, you've got more gears to be working with than usual. 8-speed gearbox. Now we've built it in such a way that you're not really making full use of all of those, because of course in real life, gearing isn't just about performance, it's about being efficient and saving fuel as well. That's one of the main reasons why cars have more gears, not just to go quicker, and you don't necessarily need to use all of the gears in the game to get great performance out of it. Now basically what I've done is I've smoothed out the curve of the gearing so that you're getting a decent amount of use out of each gear from a performance point of view, rather than a fuel economy point of view. So for final drive I've gone for 3.25, then for the individual gears 4.7, 3, 2.15, 1.63, 1.3, 1.07, 0.9 and 0.82. Of course though, you could try other settings if you want to. I do encourage that with all of my tunes. For alignment, as you can see, I've gone for neutral, camber and tow, 1 degree of caster, primarily for manoeuvrability. Then as far as anti-roll, I've rounded them off to 33 and 40, springs on 228 and 270. Not surprisingly for me, I've gone for the highest ride height. That's how I like most of my SUVs and muscle cars as well. For dampers, we've got those on 13, 14 and 6 respectively. Aero doesn't apply, of course. And finally for the diff, you know the drill if you've been on my tunes before, 100% for acceleration, 0 for decel, though by all means, for a big heavy car like this, you can of course try different settings if you want to, and I've gone for a center split, as you can see, of 80%, which really helps out with the manoeuvrability on such a big car. But again, it's trying to get the best of both worlds, the launch and off-roading, but at the same time with the manoeuvrability that you'd want to be able to keep up with, for instance, sports cars through the corners. So, now let's take it out on the road to see how it actually performs. Now, as I mentioned, you don't necessarily need to use all of the gears on this car. As it happens, you get through the full range of all 8 gears, because it is nice to use them if you've got them. It's cool having, or at least I think so, working through all of those gears as you fly down the highway at 260 in a Range Rover, which is a ridiculous statement to make, but you can do that on the game. And as you can see from this replay, you can get it up to that kind of speed. It takes a little bit longer to do so, which isn't surprising for a big car with the aerodynamics of a library, but it can definitely get there given a long enough road. Of course, if you have slipstream, it will get there even quicker, and it can give pretty much any other SUV in the game a great run for its money. Incidentally, this tune is on my storefront, so you can use the keywords down below to find it, but I can't guarantee how long it will be on the storefront for, because tunes like this, which won't necessarily be as popular, I do sometimes bump out of the way to put better ones, faster ones, more popular ones up there instead. So if you do want it, get it while you can, but no guarantees as to how long it will be up. Either way though, there are plenty more tunes like this here on the YouTube channel, so I'd recommend checking those out if you enjoyed this one. But for now, as always, Thanks for watching.